Okay. Okay. Trying some different things. I greet you how I always greet you. I greet you in the words of BB Fahodier. Today's topic I want to talk about is Vlad studies you or us. And let me see. Get my camera straight. And what I mean by that is I was watching a video recently. And I think the brother's name is Baby Blue from Pretty Ricky. And he said, hey man, you know, he got into some trouble, legal trouble. And I don't know if he's already done the time or he has to go do the time. Um, but he asked Vlad, he says, how did you know I pled guilty before I pled guilty? And Vlad gives a roundabout answer, like, sometimes we get it right and sometimes we don't, Um, and people like, what's his name, Godfrey the comedian, and I think some other people that was Lord Jamar, they no longer do the platform, and I think theirs was because of Mr. Farrakhan. No fan of Mr. Farrakhan, but if that's what it takes to get people to stop doing this platform, then cool. But anyway, um, something that's real interesting. As I always say, we say, you gotta know thyself, you gotta know thy enemy, all of this stuff. Um, but really, in order to know yourself, you have to know your enemy. And Vlad studies, if we really understand, I think um, he's Armenian or something. And if I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the comment section. But what comes to mind is how come he's never interviewed the Kardashians? How come he's never predominantly um interviewed others or his people? And we know people like Casanova 2X, who, I think some of these people got in trouble after doing those videos. Um Somebody that I really liked watching was Pee Wee Longway. He was like, hey, no, I'm good. I don't do nothing. I ain't never done nothing. Kind of like a know nothing approach. But anyway, what's bothersome about him, and we have to really listen and watch his approach, how he asks intimate, detailed questions. He asks real penetrating questions. Think about it. Just go back and to in your mind to people that really have watched this platform or continue to watch it. But just listen to his pathology or listen to the questions that he asks. He asks deep questions from childhood. He asks deep questions from just a lot of this stuff, and he may get some of it from them, but a lot of these questions, he really does his homework. And that's something that we have to learn more is to study thy opponent, study thy enemy, because they study us. They're able to tell us, he's able to say what people did in their childhood, and it's really on the money. How you think he know all of this? And for some reason, we don't want to lift up our own platform. We don't want to do certain platforms, or we don't want to create. I don't know if it's just the hype of like feeling like it's the it show to do with Vlad. But why are we so infatuated with just going on there as a people? He's always gonna find ignorant people like Boosie to get and say the most ignorant, dumb things. Because he knows ratings. Like when he interviewed Crunchy Black and he allowed this person to go on and say glad, glad, glad for hours because he knows the buffoonery of our people will get him views. Most of the time he interviews, like I said, the most ignorant representations of us. Um, and we be so telling. People are like, "Hey, this my buddy. This, that, and that." We just gotta be more. We just gotta be more open. We gotta be more open to understand who we dealing with. And because they don't show their hand, and because they don't call you niggas, or they don't call you whatever, they don't call Jews kikes or whatever. You get what I'm saying? That doesn't mean they don't, you know, they're for us or they're whatever. But that's just something I just wanted to say. I'm not gonna get into a long video, but that's just something I really wanted to say. Like, how does he really know all this stuff? He has a great research team, but that's cool. But they're researching us. They're digging into the lives of us. And even if we were to stop doing it, which I think we should stop doing his altogether, um, he would skate into the sunset. Remember, he says he got a home in Calabasas. He's okay. But that doesn't mean we have. That doesn't mean we continue to support him, because that's what we do. We support them. We support them, and they're able to take money that they make off of us and go send their children to college. Send our people to jail and send their children to college. How much of that come? How much of those from those interviews do he put into the black community? I'll wait. Because we feel like nobody owes us anything. We feel like we always doing something. As long as we can get some clout, grease my pocket a little bit, I can, get some views, that's okay. It's not payment enough. But just really think about that. Just really think. How does he know some of the things that he comes up with? These real intimate questions. But I'm not gonna be too long, like I said. I leave you how I greeted you in the words of a BB for Hodier, African liberation for African people.